Community School District Technology Director, Assistant Principal, and now Principal. Under Dr. Landeau's leadership, the Ryan School community has been redefined and built upon existing academic structures with a focus on student success. Within 5 years, George G. Ryan Middle School, under Reggie's leadership, has gone from a low-achieving school in the district to becoming its top middle school in the New York City Progress Report. In 2015, Dr. Landeau received proclamations from both the Council of the City of New York and the New York State Assembly for his school's outstanding accomplishments in student success. His professional accomplishments include being named Phi Delta Kappa's Educator of the Year in 2012. In addition, he has been honored as 2015 Mentor Principal in New York City's Learning Partners Program, 2015 New York City Chancellor's Fellow, 2016 New York City Master Principal, and the Distinguished School of Education Alumni Award from St. John's University in 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, and graduates, please welcome Dr. Reginald Landeau.
All right, thank you, Dean Sampson. Good evening, everybody. I'm a New York City principal. Let's try that one more time. Good evening, everyone. All right, beautiful. I need your energy. When I get your energy, it helps me with my energy. And if I have some energy, you don't have a boring 10-minute commencement speech today. All right. Thank you. I want to thank President Kempesor, Dean Sampson, School of Education faculty, friends, family, and wonderful graduates of St. John's University School of Education. Can we give them a round of applause? Okay. They look good, right? Yeah, yeah. It's always good to celebrate. My name is Dr. Reginald Landeau, Jr. I am the principal of the George J. Ryan Middle School, Fresh Meadows, Queens, and a proud graduate of St. John's University, the greatest university on earth. All right. That being stated, I am an educator first and foremost, so let's lay out today's learning objectives. Number one, participants will be able to sit back, relax, and have a great time, especially the graduates, on this, your day. Number two, participants will be able to have a new experience that leads to an infectious mindset to help others, especially children. Last but not least, number three, participants will not act up so that I don't have to send anyone to the principal's office today. So I need some audience participation. You guys up for that? All right, good. So this is very simple. I'm gonna name two things. If you like the first thing, you're gonna yell that out. If you like the second thing, you're gonna yell that out. But we're gonna actually do it at the same time. So we're gonna test this out. The first one is very simple. I'm gonna say, actually, I'll do it so you guys understand. I'll model the lesson. I'm gonna say vanilla or chocolate. If you like vanilla, you'll say vanilla. If you like chocolate, you'll say chocolate, and we'll be good. Everybody's got that? All right. Vanilla or chocolate? Okay, I hear a little bit of both. All right, test this one out. Apple or Samsung? Okay, I hear my iPhone people. All right, I'm gonna try a little bit harder now. Prince or Michael Jackson? Okay, we're getting a little controversial here at St. John's. All right, last one, last but not least, the most important one. Success or failure? Can I hear that one more time? Good, all right. So I'm gonna tell you a little story about success or failure for me. So when I was a kid, I'm a son of two parents, New York City teachers, one who ended up being a school superintendent, my dad, and I'm Reggie Jr. I always wanted to make sure that my dad was happy with everything that I did. So I remember one week, actually really studying hard for a test. I don't remember what subject it was, let's say math. Worked really hard, studied late, tried to do everything to make sure that my dad would be happy with the results. Took the test, let's say on a Thursday, Teacher gave it back to me on a Friday, and I got it. Boom, 97. Like, yeah, 97. Couldn't wait to get home. Couldn't wait for school to be over. Couldn't wait to leave. I was skipping all the way home. I get there, I see my mom. I'm like, Mom, look, 97. And she's like, oh, that's my boy, yeah. Give me a little hug. Said, your dad's upstairs. Go let him know. I said, fine. So I go upstairs. I march up. I'm proud. I say, Dad. He's like, yes, sir. Dad. Yes, son. Got a 97. Booyah. So he took it, and he looked at it, held it up. He brought it back, and he said, okay, all right. But what happened to the other 3 points? That's kind of how I grew up. But what it let me know was that there's a fine line between success and failure, and that I had to learn to work twice as hard to get half as far in life. And it made me the man that I am today. You know, Dean Sampson spoke briefly about my school and taking over the worst school in my district. It was literally the worst school in my district, and then moving up to where we are today. And if it wasn't for that line about the next 3 points, I don't think that I would have been willing to continue to push through the journey of lifting my school up and out of the mire, the muck and mire, into, you know, one of the great institutions here in New York City and New York State. So let me tell you about my first meeting as a principal, right? So go to my first meeting, and I get there early because I want to make sure everybody knows I'm the principal. And I'm in there with a whole bunch of other principals. They all knew it was me. I'm the only new person there, right? So I walk in, I get a folder, I go sit down at a table, and there's another guy who's there. I'm taking out all my stuff. You know, I have 5 pens, 5 pencils, all this stuff I really don't need. And the guy's saying, wow, it's terrible. And I'm like, wow, I wonder what he's talking about. He's looking through the folder, and he's like, poor Reggie. And I'm like, is there another Reggie here? You know. So I open up the folder, and I see that the first page on the left-hand side are the New York City ELA scores for the district, and the first page on the right-hand side are the New York City mathematics scores for the district. And my school, George J. Ryan, the George J. Ryan, was on the bottom of each list. It was in numerical order, ranked first to last. And I remember that day stating to myself quietly, I will never be known in this district as poor Reggie. I'm going to have to do some things to make sure that whatever we do, I don't have to be first, but we're never going to be last again. And we started to work together. You know, the discomfort of sitting in that first meeting and hearing somebody say, poor Reggie, led me to determine that I needed to make some changes. And I'm going to talk to you briefly about how discomfort helps change things, especially in schools and in education. So with that discomfort, I went back to my school and I started to create some pieces. I started to try to hire the right people. I started to try to work with the right people. And we created what we called a sustainable growth team, right? I came up with that line, sustainable growth, right? Not just growth, but we want to sustain it year after year after year. And I remember talking about bringing bragging rights back to my school, to my teachers. And they were looking at me like, yeah, I don't know about this guy. You know, I'm not so sure whether we want to do all this hard work he keeps talking about. But I seriously realized that as an educator, I have to have a dream and I have to have a vision. But if I can't clearly articulate that dream and the vision to the people that I work with, students, teachers, parents, community members, schools of education, there's no way that we're going to be able to move where we need to move to. So I want to give the crowd a little bit of discomfort, and I want to simply say this. I asked you to choose between success and failure, and now I'm going to give you an example of failure. Until 100% of the children until 100% of all children receive an equitable education, educators, especially those who have graduated from St. John's University with our ascension beliefs, should not be satisfied. Every child has to have that opportunity. Thank you. So how do we get there? Education is the key to building young minds, right? Education can take a young mind that's barely open and open it up to a whole litany of things that can make it just grow and grow and grow. But what I've learned is that we have to create new environments for children where they can have self-love, self-discipline, and compassion for others. But unfortunately, with all the accolades that I have, I can't do it alone. I need you. I need the graduates of St. John's University. I need the families of the graduates of St. John's University. I need everybody who can hear my voice to note, you can clap for that, we need you, right? We need you. So it's very simple. All of us who are educators in this audience have a date. We have 2 dates, actually. We started our education career, whether you're just starting now in school, whether you're already teaching or doing something like that, you start with a certain date, and then there's an end date that we don't know what it is yet. And in between, there's a dash. And the dash is the most important part of those 2 dates, because the dash leads you to how great an occupation and how great a career you can have in education. So in the dash, when you're done with your career, I want you to remember these 3 questions. What value did you bring to students in your school or schools that you worked with? What legacy did you leave behind? And finally, the most simplest, but I think the one that has the most depth and weight, how will you be remembered? We still have time to make a mark in that dash. It's never too late. But those marks have to be towards leading all children towards a quality education for each student that we touch. So the best thing about sitting here now is that you are in the middle of that dash and you've just gotten an accomplishment, and just like as I walked down the aisle and I saw all these infectious smiles and everybody so happy, you need to do that for each and every student that you get an opportunity to work with. So it's really simple. This is your story to write. These are your chapters of your book of life. You can never beat the next person at their game. You don't even have to worry about their game. You need to determine what your niche in education is and be the best teacher, counselor, assistant principal, professor, principal, superintendent, or whatever job you decide to take in education. Don't worry about the next person. Worry about you. If you worry about you, you can help change a child. If you can change a child, then we'll have graduates here year after year after year, and we'll be in a much better place. Wouldn't you all agree? All right. So you are graduates of St. John's University, the best of the best. I'm going to say that again, the best of the best. So I'm going to challenge you. You guys are the best? No, you don't sound like you're the best. Are you sure? Are you guys the best? Beautiful. So I challenge you. I challenge each and every one of you, including everybody back here. I challenge you to go out into the education world in whatever position you take and show them that St. John's University School of Education graduates are the finest graduates and the finest educators on this planet. We are the best. We are the best teachers, counselors, assistant principals, professors, and superintendents in this world. You are all my superheroes. I just finished watching Infinity War, Marvel fan, right? Big Marvel fan, yeah. So check it out. They don't have one hero that's as good as anybody with a cap and gown on right now. You are my heroes. So again, thank you. Without your energy, I don't have energy, and I still have a job to do because I'm in the middle of my dash. Hopefully you guys will join me and have the same kind of work ethic that will lead to those types of jobs going on in the future. So I'm going to recap those learning objectives, and then I'm going to sit down. Hopefully you were able to sit back, relax, and have a good time. Hopefully you also listened to my words and had a new experience and a change of mindset. And last but not least, I didn't see anybody act up, so I don't have to send you to the principal's office. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful graduation. Thank you.